Have you ever wondered what your partner needs from you, or what your partner likes, or what you like as a person in a relationship? Have you ever thought about why you live, you're in and out of the relationships, why your past relationships fail, or why even your current relationship is sinking? Well, today on Living It Up, we are talking about signs, the telltale signs of a sinking relationship, signs of a dying relationship. Thank you so much for tuning in on Spirit TV, a place for you. And this is Living It Up, and I am your host, Nema Diana. And of course, as usual on set with me, I always have a guest, and Madame Jemima Chivilige. But before I introduce these two for you, I want to remind you that we are at the comfort of Okla Hotel. They have the best of the customer care you can find around Uganda. They have Moroccan hammam bath. They have the best dishes you can find. They've given us this wonderful juice, and I'm sure you can come through and get a good treat for yourself and your family. Well, Jemima, you are most welcome.
Thank you, dear.
How are you?
Very fine.
It's been a long week.
Yep.
Finally, Saturday is here.
Yeah, I'm great.
You are most welcome.
Thank you.
Could you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Well, thank you so much for keeping it Spirit TV. My name is Nelwaga Fiona Kwagala, and I'm so glad to be here with you on Living It Up.
I like the Kwagala bit. Kwagala, the way she emphasizes the Kwagala. Kwagala is the husband, right?
Yeah, that's my husband's name.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
We are talking about the telltale signs of a sinking relationship. You can call it a dying relationship. Why are relationships dying? And how do you know that this relationship is not gonna work out? Well, you can call in your friend, or you can ask your friends to go to our YouTube channel, that is Spirit TV Uganda. We are streaming live, and we are also on our Facebook, Spirit TV Uganda as well. We are on Go TV as well. Please ask your friend to tune in, and they shouldn't miss this segment because it's an interesting topic.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. it is.
Jemima,
Yes, darling.
signs of a dying relationship,
Yeah.
sinking relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, first, the communication dies. Just as simple as that. You try to call this guy, and he's like, I was busy. Then you call in the morning, he's in the meeting. Then you call around the afternoon time, and he's like, I was caught up with something. Then in the evening, he's like, sorry, I even forgot to call you. So,
In other words, excuses zeyongera. There are more
Definitely.
excuses.
ate buli excuse banga munnange ekola amakulu ate munnange nga like you're like, oh, so you were busy in a meeting, then you were busy, you were caught up with, and then you were like caught up with something. What was that something? So communication agikatinga mpola. Actually kati wagira nga kwatayo gumu. Ogamba ki? So like yuli yagamba nga, yes baby. Nega wanji chichi. Yeah. So even the way it communicates with you changes, but you will feel it. Sometimes some people are like, maybe mukutembudde bukyamu, so newegumya wabawo okwegumya ngolooza kirabika munnange kimudu kye kitabaddeewo.
Twala speed. I want to hear from our guest.
Oh yeah, I like the way she has started it off. But you want to get back to the first bit of it before the communication actually dies out.
Yeah.
Because you want to think about how was it initially.
Yeah.
Some people are not
did it start?
communicating. Yeah. They aren't, because this
From
is how
the
they have
start.
grown. Yeah, this is how they've been. They've not been loved. They haven't seen care. So they're in a relationship and they love you, but generally they don't care. They think if they give you some money to probably make your hair and do this, it's okay. But check back. How did this whole thing start? Oftentimes when the relationship is starting,
Yeah.
you're in that high zone, you know.
Yeah.
Calls are not even countable. You
Yeah.
can't tell how many times someone calls you. They'll call and tell you, you know what, love, I've seen something beautiful here. I
Yeah.
think this dress will look nice on you. Have you had lunch? Actually, did you take some water?
They call
did
you
you have
they even
this?
don't have what to
But
say,
they
but
call you without an
reason.
agenda.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just spontaneous.
Yeah.
But now, as the relationship is sinking and planning to die off, this is what will happen. This person is not more interested in knowing how you're doing.
Yeah.
They're not interested in you, so why would they communicate anyway?
I know.
So the only reason that's why they're not communicating is because they're not interested. I mean, they don't find, for them to not talk to you is more of an advantage because they actually want you to give them the space.
Yeah.
So the communication dies in that line because we were finding, how can I avoid you? How can I avoid you? And like you mentioned, someone will pick you and they will be nagging in response. But you know the reason that's why they're nagging in response? There arises disrespect. Why, oyo na nkubira ye chichicho akachambulira okunywa amazzi lwacha ngamba okunywa amazzi. But initially
they are no longer concerned about how you feel
about the
yes.
So they're disrespectful because I mean, why do you have to do that? Do you want to think that you're caring so much?
Yeah.
What does the water have to do with me? If I don't take it, what does it matter? They get so disrespectful, even in response. Omuntu oyogere naye bulungi, Diana, how are you doing? Otuuse wakati. Rachel Mbuza went to say, you don't trust me anymore. You know I'm
out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
So they just respond in a very, very, very irresponsible way, and it is so disrespectful.
But I also think if you do not know your position in a relationship, there are times we go into relationships, but we do not know whether or not this person really loves us. We are in there. Yeah, but we don't know our positions. But we still hang in there. Yeah, and so oftentimes we end up like, you know, if you're not certain whether you try so hard. Yes, you try.
Actually, about positions, it is like very many people out there think one of the other helps the other to love them. No one ever helps you to love you.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. I mean, there is no man who helps you to marry you. There is no woman who helps you to marry you. As plain as that.
Yeah.
I am as important as my husband is in this relationship. And if my contribution is not there, absolutely, the relationship dies. It sinks. So if you don't know your position and you feel like I am 20% and my husband is 80%, or I am the 30% and my boyfriend is the 70%. You know, that is where it all starts from. So you feel like you're the inferior person. And you even know what these born again people want even to use scriptures. Even the Bible says we are weaker vessels.
But I think we should know how we feel and what we want. Like before you go into any relationship. Because, well, tonight's show we are dedicating it especially to those that are dating and those that are in relationships. The married ones are not really. But if you should know what you need in a relationship.
Then are you removing those who are married?
Yes.
Really?
Intentionally. Yes. I want us to deal with those that are dating, struggling with dating, and those that are in relationships, because they have an option of opting out or of you know, improving or working upon it. Yeah. So if you know you're into a relationship, you should know before even you go into that relationship, what do I want?
Yeah.
What is love for you? Yeah. You should define love for yourself. Is how I'm feeling love? Is it love? Do I feel loved? Do I feel cared for? Do I feel satisfied by this relationship? Do I get everything that I need in a relationship? Yeah, we start from there. And then from that, you can easily tell that, you know what, I'm not receiving what I'm supposed to be receiving from this person.
And now you're mentioning, am I receiving everything I want from a relationship? And that is one of the things that actually, expectations. There are so much a contribution to the closing down of relationships. Because in the first time, on the foundation level, if your expectations are not met, that is where you start from to have doubts. So it is always important, sit down and evaluate before the relationship goes any further and communicate. Because some people bali awo Diana naye alina byasuubira mu relationship naye talina gwe yali abigambye naye alowooza nti waliwo malayika agenda okujja abibikulire omuntu gwali naye mu relationship ayagala omukubira amasimu ayagala omuwa obudde ayagala ebirabo naye tabyogerako kakati yasuubira nti omuntu agenda kuva buvi eri amutunuulire abirowoozeeko. But the sign of in that
actually before even nga tetunagenda ku expectations Dana wadde oyogera ng'ogamba nti ebyo byasuubira byayagala before even gwe kulaba ebyoyagala, first of all ask yourself, do I love myself? Because the Bible says you cannot give what you don't have.
Yeah, true.
What you have is what you can give. Because gwe wennyini oba teweeyagala then you're expecting a new mulala gwe wennyini nyini oba teweefiiringa gwe
But even
expect
Jamie,
another person to
yagala, but this person that I'm with, I feel like they're not really putting in the efforts that they used to do. Yeah, I love myself. Yes, but I'm struggling to like keep them. Yeah, it's always me initiating the communication. It's always me trying to care. It's always me wondering where they are, what they're doing, and all that.
From the start, or
so
probably.
I think you should know what you're supposed to receive.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you should know what you're supposed to receive, what you require from this person. Talk to them, and they're not willing to change. Oftentimes, one sign that your relationship is falling apart is complaining over and over and over about the same thing, but it doesn't seem to be addressed. And this person doesn't seem to want to change anything about it. So, if you're not receiving any change after complaining today, the other day,
you take a step back.
I think it's high time you thought about this relationship.
Don't give up that
easily. For you? Is it working for you? Do you think you're taking it any further? Yeah? So, Fiona, you were still telling us.
I'm saying don't give up that easily because I was still saying before Jamie came in that your expectations are aligned, but have they been communicated? Now, if they've been communicated where Diana is, and you've communicated them and you're like, honey, I don't like the fact that the whole day goes back, but you haven't checked on me and you do not know how I am doing. I don't like that. How about we change it? And then, because every time it's me checking on you, and then check how does your partner respond to that. Because like I said initially, if your partner is responding in a defensive manner, for example, gotokimanyi nti nze mbeera busy, zino essaawa mbeera mu office, zino essaawa mbeera na meeting, zino essaawa mbeera wano. Now, if they are defensive about anything, there is something, there is a red flag you need to check. Because this defensiveness doesn't just arise. Consciously or unconsciously, there is something you're hiding.
Definitely.
Consciously or unconsciously, there is something that is developing in you and you're not paying attention to it.
So many times we expect that these things are going to change in the near future.
That is our hope.
Yes, but it's not right. It's not true. I want to remind someone if someone, the way someone treats you when you're dating, and this person backs at you, or is abusive, or doesn't give you attention, or is whining all the time, or you know, because one of the things you should know, if a person needs you, they will get you close, they will show you, they will speak to you, they will prove to you that they really need you. And so if you're struggling so hard to keep this relationship, please pay attention and listen to that. These things are going to double.
This is where it arises from, Diana. The point at which I am feeling like being Zobabi Jachuka, it is a place where I am hopeless. I've been in many relationships and everyone around me at church, for example, is getting married. And now I'm looking at my girlfriends, everyone is getting off the shelf. And now my mom is saying, Fifi, it's long time since you graduated. What's up? So the pressure arises from the environment. The pressure arises from church. The pressure arises when you look at people progressing. And so this is what you have to turn to. You're turning into a place of saying, Banage. So you are not yet in a very good place. You feel like you just want to do this. Now the relationship will sink very easier when you want to do it for the sake of kanchikole.
Kiveewo na
Do you know
kyekyo.
that when you get married to someone, when you are moving out with someone, you're doing this for life?
Yeah.
You're not going to, you're not just in a relationship for just. Kubanga expectations
Jamie.
nabadde mbagamba lwaki osalawo okugenda mu relationship eno bwobanga ogenda mu relationship eno kubanga mikwano gyo bonna bafumbiddwa kubanga mikwano gyo gyonna bawasa kubanga emyaka gikulese. If that is the reason as to why you're going into the relationship, you're hitting a wrong.
I feel like
So-
it shouldn't be because of pressure, external pressure. It should be because of you, how you feel, and what you need. Jamie, I want to include Jamie in this conversation.
And
so
actually
much.
what she was saying, kyabadde agamba nti neera gwe ng'omuntu ky'oyagala oyina by'oyagala oyina by'osuubira oyina naye gwe tonnaba kutuuka kweyagala
tonnabibeera.
olw'ensonga oli mu kufa ku bantu abalala bonna okuggyako gwe oli mu kufaayo mama wange agamba ki oli mu kufaayo musumba wange agamba ki oli mu kufaayo okuggyako
Now, mu
gwe
instances
so you
ezo,
can't give.
I would
Well,
say
Jamie, we'll come back with you.
Okay.
You're going to come back and talk about someone starting to exclude you slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly. Out of their lives. They talk about something and they're like, twabadde mu kyalo, and you all of a sudden you don't know about it. Because they're starting to exclude you. You do not know about their personal life and,
Yeah.
and yet you're in this relationship. Well, we take this commercial break. We'll be right back and Jamie will be telling us more about exclusion.